Hi everyone. Welcome to Young Guide Podcast. Before we begin, for those who are new to the Young Guide Podcast, this is the place where the Young Guide Podcast shares mainly two main content areas. The first is about finance and personal finance management skills. The second is life experiences. And now, let's start today's topic together. The lesson from young startups raising millions of dollars too early. Succeeding at a young age is commendable and praiseworthy. However, whether they can maintain that success is another story. Vasavada and Mehrotra are two classic examples of successful individuals. They founded Vise, a startup that provides technology for building automated investment portfolios, when they were only 16 years old. At its peak, Vise was even valued at $1 billion. However, over time, the youthful impulsiveness and arrogance of the two founders have been revealed, leading Vise to a state of difficulty and uncertainty about its future. Young co-founders working for a financial AI consulting firm. Vasavada and Mehrotra realized the enormous scale of global assets managed by financial consulting companies, which is expected to reach over $145 trillion by 2025. That's why in 2016, when they were still high school students and only 16 years old, Vasavada and Mehrotra founded Vise, a technology startup that allows for automated investment portfolio building based in New York. Vise was launched with a mission to create financial freedom for everyone using AI and automation to customize each client's investment portfolio. The initial funding of $20,000 for Vise came from the famous venture capital firm Dorm Room Fund. In May 2019, Vasavada and Mehrotra successfully raised $2 million from some big names. In 2020, Sequoia invested $14.5 million in Vise. With confidence and valuable connections in Silicon Valley, Vasavada and Mehrotra turned Vise into a unicorn after only 5 years. Many people were attracted to the fame of Vise and rushed to work there, including former leaders of Dropbox, BlackRock, Tripactions, and Affirm. In the summer of 2020, Vise moved its office from a cramped apartment in San Francisco to the luxurious 84th floor of a world-class shopping center with a view of the headquarters of Goldman Sachs. However, they strayed from their original goal. In an interview in May 2020, they said they had $800 million in assets under management, AUM, which is the total market value of investments that an organization manages on behalf of clients. In July of that year, the co-founders said they expected to manage $1 billion in AUM soon, but according to a document filed in mid-2020, they only managed $4 million in AUM. The main revenue for Vise is the fee of 0.25% to 0.5% on managed assets, which is very important data for the joint revenue of Vise. This is not a low fee. It is known that the target for Vise's top salespeople can reach $250 million per quarter, equivalent to $1 billion per year. Even salespeople at top investment management firms do not achieve the target of $250 million per year, according to many insiders. Therefore, most of this group cannot meet the target and are constantly worried about being fired. We believe that Vasavada's motto is hire fast, fire fast, according to a former employee. Initially, Vise's sales tactics produced results during the peak period in December 2021 when Vise had $559 million AUM according to public records. However, as the founders of Vise set bigger targets, the company fell further behind. The reason is that the platform and asset management work were problematic. The peak was when Vise lost its largest client, Manhattan West, with around $100 million of assets on Vise's platform. It is known that Manhattan West left because Vise's product did not provide access to more complex assets such as fixed income and alternative investment options in the portfolio. When they realized their mistake, Vise's founders had to downsize everything. The company's AUM dropped to $362 million in the latest filing in September 2022, 2 years after expecting to manage $1 billion AUM. The company has not even achieved half that number. The difficulties piled up. While the sales team was struggling with their work, Vise's founders sometimes focused on unrelated matters. They once asked the office manager to buy a telescope, which made other employees very uncomfortable. Furthermore, Vasavada increasingly likes to send long messages via email and at night, while Mehrotra is seen as the brain behind technical operations, but he is less visible and usually quietly solves technical problems. Some employees began to doubt the accuracy of the AI system they were using. In addition, some of Vise's automated features were still incomplete. In an internal survey in early 2021, when asked if they wanted Vise to manage their money, the majority of the company's employees answered no. The question is, if even Vise's employees do not want the company to manage their money, why would investors share millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars with Vise to manage? Under the leadership of the new CTO Andrew in the summer of 2021, Vise abandoned its old management methods and applied a new strategy to focus on product development, risk management, and compliance. Around this time, Vise also ditched AI-related marketing materials. Mehrotra said that the changes were made because potential customers didn't fully understand Vise's use of AI when the engineering team worked hard to fix the product instead of bringing food and drinks to the office. Vasavada often took them to fancy dinners at trendy restaurants in New York and ordered dishes worth thousands of dollars with the company's credit card. According to Mehrotra, this helped people bond better, but a former employee said that it was a waste of money. They wanted to become billionaires rather than businessmen when the revised product was ready for use. Vise faced another major problem. Current customers had to sell shares on the old platform and buy them back on the new platform. This created tax disadvantages, causing many customers to stop using the company's products. The problem became worse when in November 2021, Fong and some senior technical leaders left without fully explaining to customers as well as the process of transitioning to the new platform. The future is uncertain, but Vasavada announced a new sales target in March 2022 after the board meeting. Vasavada required the team to increase from $362 million to $1 billion AUM by September 2022, nearly tripled in 6 months, and even believed they could reach $10 billion AUM in 2022 by hiring an additional 21 employees by April 2022. More than 20 Vise sales staff were required to report their performance at the W Hotel in New Jersey, creating a heavy atmosphere because the staff obviously could not meet the previously set targets. Staff continuously glanced at the two co-founders and then bowed down to their computers. The young leaders seemed unconcerned about the meeting 3 weeks later, leading to the dismissal of over 20 of the 100 employees, including mostly sales staff and even directors. This was the second round of layoffs for the group following the first in mid-2021 to May 2022, after many sales staff were fired. The new co-founders analyzed and realized that the company had misjudged the customer consulting process and the quality of the sales team was low. In the future, Vise has plans for its sales staff to develop long-term partnerships with each potential customer by flying to meet them and learning more about their operations. Additionally, the company has stopped approaching new customers to focus on current ones. Vasavada has also adjusted the target AUM of $1 billion and is testing other metrics. They have also abandoned their office on the 84th floor to move to a more modest space. Some investors have commented on Vise's many examples of mistakes that can occur. When a company is run by inexperienced young founders who have a large amount of money from well-known investors such as Sequoia, Ribbit Capital, and Founders Fund. The glamour of the tech world quickly made them famous, but they didn't know how to handle everything afterward. Constantly changing product and sales strategies have contributed to the loss of the biggest customers. And the entire leadership team, including the CTO, product director, and some other directors, of Vise's more than 100 employees, have left since the company was founded based on data from LinkedIn. Even some potential customers have refused to sign contracts with Vise due to concerns about the reputation of the young co-founders Vasavada and Mehrotra. They said they have never owned a pink Lamborghini supercar, and their lavish lifestyle is entirely fabricated. In a Zoom interview with Business Insider, Vasavada and Mehrotra also mentioned the temptations of Silicon Valley that they had to face when they were young executives. This is a challenge for many young founders when the glamour surrounds them and everyone wants to approach them. And they need to be sober-minded to make wise decisions for the business. Vasavada said that although there are currently many challenges for Vise, some investors believe that these difficult phases will help the two founders learn valuable lessons, according to experts. They are currently struggling with an identity crisis, and whether they should develop quickly like a tech startup or develop slowly and steadily like the investment management industry that the company is attacking. Young Guide Podcast would like to conclude our sharing for today's episode here. If you find these contents helpful, please share them with your friends and family. Additionally, as usual, since YouTube's algorithm prioritizes videos with more likes, if you like this video, please click on the like button to help us reach more people. Thank you for following us. Thanks for watching.